JDCF is an incredible focal point for conservation, for education, for volunteer involvement.
It is just a core of the most passionate people I've ever seen in my entire life who have taken this county and done amazing things.
And the fact that I might have been a part of creating something that's going to last long past my years is just exciting.
So the mission of the Joe Daviess Conservation Foundation is to preserve land for the lasting well-being of people and wildlife. And we want to make our preserves open for people to experience and enjoy. The year it was founded was 1993, when this small group of people gathered around a kitchen table. They wanted to form a tax-supported conservation district to preserve the beauty of this area and the natural areas, the habitats. It's part of this large area we call the Driftless area, and this is the very northwest corner of Illinois. They went through the process and it was soundly defeated. So they thought, well, we still want to do this, and the way they did it was to form this nonprofit organization. The Joe Daviess Conservation Foundation currently holds 5,600 acres. Most of that is in 30 conservation easements. These are legal documents between landowners and the Joe Daviess Conservation Foundation. In essence, it's a permanent restriction on the land to protect the conservation purposes. And it's in perpetuity, it lasts forever. We have about 1,500 acres of land that we own outright and manage on 10 different properties, 7 of which are currently open to the public. Places like Horseshoe Mound, Casper Bluff, Wapello, Gateway, Schermeyer. We're over 1,000 members. We have a board of 14, a staff of 10, about 250 volunteers, and just a lot of people in the community engaged in our work.
This driftless area not only contains unique habitats, but also remnants of thousands and thousands of years of history. This history is captured in the landscape in the form of mounds, buried villages, and important gathering areas. When JDCF first embarked on its mission to protect land, this additional human layer was not considered. It's only in recent years that we've been intentional and purposeful about protecting these sacred places.
What we have with archaeology is we already have a textbook of how our ancestors, be they Native Americans, be they people in Europe, be they who they are, dealt with problems dealing with land and resources and conservation and what they were going to pass on to other generations. So what we can do by understanding how did Native people live on these lands for 10, 12, 15,000 years, and they're still relatively intact, there are lessons there that we really need to be aware of and we really need to start listening to.
When I was first introduced to JDCF, I realized the people that I met and the mission that they had was something that I could certainly commit myself to in terms of giving my time and my resources to. I've lived my entire life here in the Driftless area. I've twice been elected the leader of my tribe. I'm a member of the Ho-Chunk Nation, a member of the Thunderbird clan. What is here is unique, and the fact that both parties are willing to reach out and to embrace one another in researching this and taking a look at what could be done here, I think is really important.
This is not the past we're looking at. It's part of a continuum that includes descendant people and present day people living, and that these places have meaning and value and life to them. Usually when people preserve these kinds of places, you have a little parcel, has a mound, has part of a village, has a building on it. What JDCF has done is they've purchased large properties that have big mound groups, that have village sites or groups of properties, and what you begin to see is they're patching together landscapes that had meaning to the people who lived here for thousands of years, and that allows us to be able to understand this story, understand its value, and then pass both of those things on to future generations.
I'm 70 years old, and I've walked on the face of this earth, and I've never come into contact with an organization that cares for the earth like JDCF does. They have my heart and they have my soul. They have what I have to give to them.
Northwest Academy serves the needs of all the students in the Joe Daviess, Carroll, and Stevenson County that have emotional disabilities and just have not been a good fit in the traditional school environment. Our job is to work very hard at restoring their emotional stability as well as academic success. And I think that's where JDCF and Sunshine Acres fit in so perfectly. It really helped us with that emotional part of life.
Sunshine Acre is a program where the school has adopted an acre of land on our Casper Bluff property, and they come out about twice a month during the fall and spring, and we do some stewardship work, and we go to other preserves as well.
They're learning teamwork, they're learning commitment, they're coming out, they're planting trees, learning about nature and all of the inhabitants.
What this program does is it empowers youth to make good decisions and to learn how to be strong community advocates and leaders. And so we're not only giving them skills to succeed for their own personal careers, but we're also providing them with skills to lead our communities.
We know that children with trauma need to get back to their childhood and those pieces that they may have missed due to neglect. But what we didn't expect was the impact that all the volunteers were going to have on our students.
Sunshine Acre program for me is it's a wonderful project. I get to work with these children, give them experiences that we normally recognize, teach them how to work as a team and then accomplish a project.
Well, I just like nature. I like to get out, and it feels like I know they need help here because you guys are doing a good job here. I just want to be a part of that. Coming out here gives me a second chance at life.
The resources that are needed to support this work and support the work that is so important to our members and community, it just takes more resources. So these 3-year pledge commitments that people make really help support our activities, our programs on an annual basis.
The Joe Daviess Conservation Foundation depends on individuals, corporations, foundations for support. That makes it possible for us to perform all 3 program areas that are so directly tied to the mission. So those 3 areas are land protection, land stewardship, and outreach and education.
JDCF sites such as Horseshoe Mound and Gateway are truly a celebration of community. It's the success of the synergy of working together, public and private, along with volunteerism, so our entire community can benefit.
What has happened here is so unique in incorporating this cultural element into a land trust preservation effort, and it's been very successful. Offering that as a model for other places, as well as to create linkages, I think will create a very strong community.
And it's the same land that future generations will be able to enjoy through the course of their life, and to draw the life and the spirit that exists here to help them as they move through their life cycle.
Children need to value where they came from, and they need to value the earth and what it provides for us, and the history of our place. They need to understand it, and they too then should carry on the desire to preserve what they have inherited.
If it were not for JDCF and the efforts of all these people, who knows what we would have.
These places aren't just set aside for wildlife. They're set aside for our well-being, as well as the well-being of the plants and animals that live there. So we very much see our work connected to you and your health and your well-being.
Without your contribution, Without support from individuals like you, we won't be able to offer those opportunities to people in the future.